Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Look up in the sky. What is that? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's an electric mullet. Perfect. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Electric Mullet, the Superman, well, one of the Superman podcasts, the second best Superman podcast. I am Phil. Damn it. That's right. We're claiming second. All right. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, he from the first greatest Superman podcast, the Krypton Report. It is Mr. Tyler Patrick.
Oh, thank you, Phil. You bring me great joy with such honor.
And who could it be? It is the Alan Steele himself. Yeah.
That's right. Swooping back into Metropolis and beyond.
This is Phil, birthday boy Perich.
Oh, yes, we are.
That's right.
Yes, we are recording.
Happy birthday, Phil.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even doing podcasts on his birthday.
You can hear cheers, and you can hear the cheerfulness, happiness in my voice since I was off today. So, well, I've been off since like half a day Wednesday last week. So
Nice. A little vacation.
But it all ends
Nice.
tomorrow. So, all right.
Oh, yes.
All right. See. And I love when my son complains, I got to go back to school. I'm like, you're going to have all summer off. Shut up.
I'm like, I'll gladly.
You get 2 months off.
I'll gladly trade you, my son.
Yeah.
Like,
I want 2 months off.
I'll go with Pap and get ice cream. You could go to work.
yeah. I'll go to school and do some math, some reading, some recess, and then lunch, and then come home and complain. And you can go to work and get yelled at and deal with the stuff I do.
That's right.
Yeah. We'll switch for a day.
All right. So on that cheerful note, only two issues tonight. The oversized Action 600 and Superman number 18. So yeah, so this will be the last Action Comics issue we do for a while because I ain't touching Action Comics Weekly again.
Yeah, how long does that go for, Phil? Do you remember how many issues?
It was like, what was it, like 40? Was it 42 or 40? I think it was like
Really?
42. Yeah. Well, 42.
That many?
So yeah, so almost a year. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. No, I've heard
Wow.
more stories like Mark Waid saying, they'd be in the office till the last minute on a Friday night, like
Yeah.
out and stuff.
Literally burning the midnight oil. Yeah, it's crazy.
Get those classic issues out, like when how Jordan's on the Oprah Winfrey show.
Oh God. I knew that there were a lot of them, but I didn't realize there were that many.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, Will and I just kind of did one episode on all like the Green Lantern stuff, and oh my god,
Yeah.
how Jordan gets locked in a yellow safe, like a yellow gun safe.
Ugh. Ooh.
weird.
There's got to be some gold amongst all that mess, though. It's do you really want to slog through to do it? It's like that's the question. Yeah.
And again, it's really not worth it for us for Superman because again, each issue
No.
I think Superman's only on like 2 pages, maybe.
Yeah, he's not even in them. So
They did a bunch of short stories, yeah.
right.
And Superman was the shortest, so.
Yeah.
Here, happy anniversary, Superman. We're gonna put you in 2 pages of these oversized issues
Yeah.
the year.
And were all of them still set in Metropolis, or were they just like
I can't
whatever?
even remember. I think
Yeah.
yes and no. I think it was a little of both, but
Mhm.
I really couldn't tell you about those Superman stories.
Because I was behind the idea of, for Action Comics, having Superman getting taken out of it for a little while and having the focus instead go to somebody like Gangbuster or Guardian or Star Labs or Project Pegasus or whatever.
Yeah, it's
that
really not
other place is.
Metropolis centric. Yeah, because again, I think the only one besides Superman who ran through all the issues might have been the Green Lantern stuff. But
Mhm.
there's at least 2 different Nightwing stories. There was like Black Canary stuff. I think the Black Hawks. God, who else? Was Wild Dog in any? Wild Dog might have been. least
Yeah, I thought Wild Dog was in one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, some of them they
And maybe
again.
Vigilante.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, some of them only lasted a couple weeks, but
Yeah. Yeah, Wild Dog. Jeez.
wow, dog.
Wild Dog. Yeah, so for a while it's just going to be Superman and
Yes.
Adventures.
And again, in Action Comics Weekly 601, of course, that's when Kat Matui's killed. So yes, I got you, Will.
Oh.
Yes, bring back Kat Matui. It's about time.
Geez. Yeah.
Which Will and I pointed out the irony where yes, Star Sapphire kills Kat Matui in the kitchen. So yes, Kyle Rayner's girlfriend was not the first.
Yeah.
All right, should we get to these issues?
Let's do it.
As much as I hate Action Comics Weekly, talking about it a lot. All right. All right, so yeah, Action Comics 600's got a couple stories in here.
Yes.
Yeah, it was interesting.
And some great art in this. Holy cow.
Oh, that's right. Yes, and I'm actually going to remember this time. Share some covers while I'm doing some synopses here. I have synopsis for the first, the main story, the Maggie Sawyer story, but nothing about the Man Bat or Superman collapsing in the middle of the street story. All right, so Action Comics number 600 from May 1988. The first story, Different Worlds. Isn't that a spin-off?
Different strokes.
There you go. I was
Yeah,
going
look at it.
to say, isn't that a spin-off of the Cosby Show?
Yeah.
See, that's a joke all the young kids can enjoy. All right.
What's the Cosby joke? What's the Cosby Show, Phil?
I don't know. It was that thing they put around the Jello pudding pop commercials. Yes.
Oh,
Home, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Action Comics 600, May 1988. Different Worlds is the first story. Writer and penciler, of course. Somebody's getting handsy with a woman, so of course John Byrne's going to be writing and penciling it.
Yes, you know it.
Inker George Perez, colorist Tom Zayuko, letterer John Costanza, and editor Renee Witterstatter and Mike Carlin. So yeah, that's why the art on this first story looks so good. Yeah, it's drawn by Byrne and inked by George Perez. So
yeah, what a great combination! Holy cow!
Well, again, too, George Perez was drawing the Wonder Woman book at the time.
Right. Yeah, it's a perfect combo, really. Yeah.
Superman and Wonder Woman embrace and kiss. But the deer in the headlights look on Wonder Woman's face makes it clear that this is not what she had in mind.
I love that it says that in the synopsis.
Yes.
I approve.
Realizing he has overstepped, Superman offers an awkward, stumbling apology. He admits that he's been thinking of her constantly since they first met, because that's going to make it better. Even sharing that he had an intense dream about her, and when she contacted him about a date, he thought she felt the same. Yes,
that's how you do it, Phil. You just go up to a girl and be like, I had an intense dream about you, and that makes everything okay.
Awkward kiss, intense dream. I mean,
what could go wrong?
This is teenage boy written all over it.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman says she has a warrior's heart, but that she also has feelings, but she is new to a man's world and still trying to figure it out. Yes. All right. Superman wears his heart on his sleeve. It's right there. The heart is on his sleeve. Superman offers to start over, and she agrees, so long as he agrees to call her Diana. They fly away and talk. She tells him that he is like a god on Earth. That thing's not going down anytime soon. But he denies this, explaining that he has fought hard for his humanity, especially as he's in fact an alien. At heart, he's a Kansas farm boy. Hermes summons Wonder Woman, and she breaks off the date, having to answer his call. Superman will not be left behind, though, and flies through the portal to Olympus after her. Arriving in Olympus, Superman finds the strange dimension negates many of his abilities. Odd gravity makes flying difficult, and his supervision is highly hampered. He begins to search for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, meanwhile, quickly finds Hermes. She asks how this has happened, and he tells her that Darkseid has invaded Olympus.
Uh-oh.
Darkseid is displeased by the arrivals. His plans had so far progressed perfectly, and he doesn't want any interference. He sends images to the heroes. First, Superman encounters an amorous Wonder Woman who throws herself at him. Wonder Woman encounters an arrogant Superman. Superman turns out to be Calabac in disguise, while the fake Wonder Woman is actually Amazing Grace. Justin's favorite. There we go. There's more fodder for the fanfic, Justin.
That's right.
Both
Secret child.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if that illusion dropped and she was with Chat? She was pregnant.
Yeah.
Both villains attack the heroes once their deception fails. As Wonder Woman begins attacking Calabac and Superman begins hammering away at Grace, again, both villains keep the heroes on a chase, bringing them close to each other before vanishing. As Superman and Wonder Woman encounter each other, they attack. Darkseid is pleased that the two heroes will destroy each other as he watches the titanic struggle. Soon, though, the battle crashes into the very room in which he stands, and the heroes face him together. Superman explains the ruse. Both he and Wonder Woman realized the trick and quickly knew who it was they fought. Under the cover of battle, they searched for Darkseid and they finally found him. Darkseid is unconcerned about this, planning to kill the heroes, but first he explains how Olympus owes its existence to the creation of Apocalypse and New Genesis, how energy from that creation struck Earth and spawned the gods. He will now take that and conquer Earth. Wonder Woman points out to him, though, that he has conquered nothing. The gods are not here. Without them, this is just a place. An angered Darkseid leaves, sending explosives to destroy Olympus and the heroes. But Hermes appears and tells them not to be concerned. The explosives go off, but Olympus is untouched. As Hermes explains, it is eternal. He returns the heroes home. Superman is awed by what he has seen. She is a princess, a god. She visits Olympus and talks to the gods. He is just a Kansas farm boy, and she is way out of his league. I think I've heard this song before. He asks that they just be friends. Wonder Woman agrees on the condition that he call her Diana. Superman stumbles with this, but agrees to try. If she will call him Clark, they part as friends.
Ha ha ha.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, good to see Amazing Grace back.
Yes.
I do think what's like
How sweet it is.
I wish we would have got the moment before instead of opening up to him kissing her, because it really does feel awkward in his explanation. Like, you've been on my mind. And because I was thinking about you, I was hoping you were thinking about me. So it is kind of weird.
Oh, hello, Russell. Okay. Justin, I'm going to reading this in the voice. Did someone say kiss?
One thing is just as we're going through this and reading and going through this series is the fact that I'm not reading Wonder Woman. I'm not exploring where the Justice League books are at this time. I'm going strictly through the Superman side. So it makes it more interesting because you don't know the relationship of some of these characters. Where are they? Like, how close are they? So, she keeps saying, call me Wonder or Diana. And then he's like, call me Clark. It's like, did they already know that about each other? Did they not know that about each other?
I don't believe so, because I believe it was like, Clark Kent was talking to her agent or manager or whatever. So the minute he says Clark, is she going to be like, oh, he's Clark Kent? I think this is kind of where they learn. I mean, I don't think she has much of a secret identity at this point, but I'm pretty sure this is where she learns his.
Yeah.
And
so
the Olympian gods here, were they gone because of that story that was happening in the pages of the Teen Titans, where there was like the battle between the Olympian gods and the Titans and all that mess?
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know if that's at that time.
I was trying to remember why Olympus was like vacant like that. And Darkseid just kind of strolled in and took over. Like, why was there nobody to oppose him? Because obviously they would have.
They were on Earth, procreating, making new demigods.
Yeah.
It was that time of the year.
It was running season. Yeah.
Well,
You know, it is interesting. Like,
well,
Yeah.
that's why Hermes was there. He finished first.
He's always the fastest one.
I do like that she does introduce him as Hermes, or sometimes called Mercury, just really kind of helping close that distance
Yes,
between
I
the
liked that too.
Greek and Romans.
Yeah.
I did think it was kind of neat seeing Darkseid though.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen him since that first story with Amazing Grace, right?
Yeah,
Or
no.
Menacing Superman in any case, yeah.
His whole explanation was cool about New Genesis and everything, but yeah, I did like that they were fighting. They figured it out. But Phil, did you talk about the one page out of nowhere interlude that made no sense?
Hold on. Which page would that be?
The page number 20 that just says interlude.
Oh,
Hold on, I'm scrolling through here. Oh yeah. With like it's like Wonder Woman's press agent or something. So I was that makes
It was so random. I'm like, what? Huh? Who is
yeah,
this?
this is pretty random, yeah.
And then it's one page, and then back to the battle.
You would think
Yeah.
there's more explanation, as that's like more stuff with the Wonder Woman book. Like you said, if you're not reading a Wonder Woman, that's you're probably just,
Yeah.
What?
That would have been it would have been handy to have an editor's note somewhere in there.
Yeah, it would have. And I do think it's interesting how we're here on page 21 and like we see them, but then like page 22, 23, 24, it's just like action, no dialogue. And but I like the way it's split into these four.
Yeah.
grids.
Those are my favorite, actually.
3 pages,
I love
no
those.
text. Yeah, it's just 4
Yeah.
panels each of action
And Darkseid is in the center
with
Yeah.
Darkseid's head.
with a different expression on each page. I love it. Those are my favorites. A gorgeous feast of artwork. Yeah. And I love the fact that nothing that happened in this story really amounted to anything.
No.
the bomb that Darkseid set off had no effect.
He's just mad.
Yeah.
He looks like just a
nothing
big.
ever- Yeah.
He's like a big angry child, and I think it's
Yeah.
interesting because I'm so used to in a lot of the drawings of Darkseid, he doesn't really have pupils. He just has red eyes that look more
Solid
menacing.
red. Yeah.
And in this, when you see his eyes, I think it actually makes him less intimidating.
Yeah, and he even looks kind of smaller in this because, like, Wonder Woman in one panel is looking him almost right in the eye.
Yeah.
Like, they're almost the same exact height. And in a lot of depictions, he's, like, at least 3 or 4 feet taller than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He looks kind of lumpier in this for some reason.
Yeah. It's just like when they change the artwork. Yeah, they make him, like, robust.
Yeah, pre-crisis Darkseid.
Yeah, he just... Yeah, starting on page 26, he kind of just looks...
Yeah. Robust. Yeah, that's a good word for it. He does look rather robust. Yeah.
Okay, I get that it's magic when he sets off the explosives and Olympus isn't affected, but I'm like, what if the explosion have affected Superman or Wonder Woman? At least thrown them?
Yeah. So at least a little bit. Yeah.
Physically pick them up off the ground and thrown them?
Right.
Oh, because he even says, I saw the explosion, I heard it, but I didn't feel anything.
That is a good point. Phil, you and your deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Deep thoughts with Phil.
Unless it's just the magic affects you while you're standing there.
Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows how Olympus works with its weird powers?
I just want to know, and knowing is half the battle.
That's true.
And for those kids out there, that's a G.I. Joe callback, kids.
That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't reading Wonder Woman at this time either, so I don't remember from knowledge what was going on in that title at this time. So there must be some reason why Olympus was vacant like that. We'll have to figure it out.
Sometimes I wonder, like, how, what do you call it? How if Olympics is actually, populated all the time, or they're just gone a lot because that's what they do.
Mm. Yeah, we're used to them, or at least I'm used to the Marvel depictions of the gods being always hanging out in Asgard or Olympus or whatever. They're constantly there, and they just dabble a little bit on Earth here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they stick to their realm. In DC, it's a little bit different. They tend to wander a little bit more. They get a little bit more wanderlust over in DC.
But yeah, sorry, I should have thought ahead. I should have had my Wonder Woman expert here who even has like the complete 80s run.
Come on, get your head out of your butt.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's true. Lilith would know, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was a big Wonder Woman fan.
She's like, oh, yeah, Olympus was, all the gods took off from Olympus because, yeah.
But I mean, it makes me want to kind of jump back and check out, like, everything else.
Mm.
Yeah. Because again, kind of, I mean, it's Superman kind of got the Man of Steel miniseries, and they kind of just jumped into the time jump, did like issue 1 of Superman and stuff. Yeah, Wonder Woman, number 1. It's like they pretty much like, yeah, it's a full reboot,
Total
pretty much,
rehaul.
yeah, because like no one had seen her before Legends.
Yeah. And that Perez series is gold. That's gold. Yeah, I love that.
But again, his art was never suffered.
I'm tempted to get there. There's one of those large editions, those like kind of oversized editions of that, so you can kind of really like feast upon his artwork. Yeah, so I'm tempted to get that one of these days.
Yeah, I got one of the collections. I think it was with his stuff. Oh, it might have been War of the Gods or something. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put out a collection of that recently, didn't they? Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this, or should we get to the next story in this issue?
Yeah, let's move to the next story.
All right. So the next one. Remember last time, Justin? I think we were like, "Why is Lois Lane dressed like this?" Well, here we go.
Wait. Can we just, before we move on to the next one, can we just take a quick look at the piece of art from this story to the next one that has the very creepy Superman face and the very creepy smiling Batman?
What?
What?
Do you guys not have that?
I don't see it.
It might not be in the digital copy because I didn't.
I'll just.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just have to.
I don't see it on mine.
I'll have to share it with you guys later.
I was gonna say I have the floppy. I just didn't pull it out.
This is one of those random pinups that they put in the
Yes.
middle of. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird as heck.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, no.
For some reason, they don't have any pinups in this in the online version.
Yeah, no. It just goes from one story to another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna share it with you guys here in a second.
Should have dug my floppy out. Darn it.
But yeah, okay, we can move on while I work on this.
All right, so yeah, the next one is the Lois Lane one. Here we go. True Love. Lois Lane. Do I have a? Does not give me the creative team for this. All right. Lois Lane's cover has been blown, and she's been caught by gunmen. She fights her way out, tying up the bad guys, calling in her story, and catching a cab to the Daily Planet. At the Daily Planet, the staff is all abuzz about an article out of Boston about the romance between Superman and Wonder Woman. This news has bumped Lois's article from the front page. Lois is upset by the news, almost as upset as Clark Kent, who makes an attempt to assure Lois that the story is false. An upset Lois walks home, convinced it's true, and that Clark's fumbling explanation proves it's true. Clark arrives at her apartment to talk, but while she cleans up, he gets a call from Jimmy Olsen and has to rush out as Superman. Lois comes out to find him gone, further upsetting her. All right.
Once again, Lois is a redhead. Very, very frustrating. My favorite panel is she comes out like I don't know. What's I have to go take a shower. Okay, I'll wait here.
Oh, yeah.
Just wearing her robe. Like, hey, Clark. Like, I had a thought. And then she I love that it's her with like her hands on her hip.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I just, in all honesty, like, this is so small and so short. I like the interaction between Lois and Clark as we're trying to, I guess, build that back up into something after, after that was just destroyed with the whole, Clark Superman was my brother. We grew up together on the farm.
My
Yeah, I think
brother from another planet.
They kind of like forget about that once Byrne leaves. I don't think it's ever really mentioned again, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think
Right.
Roger Stern wrote this story, so maybe he was trying to like steer that ship away.
Yeah.
Mess.
But
I'm trying to remember. I don't think Byrne will be here for a little bit, but I don't think he's here that much longer on the Superman books.
I do like
another few months
that we have Clark in a blue suit that doesn't have a red tie.
Yeah,
like how many times we see that? Like,
yeah,
like, haha,
yeah,
blue suit, red tie. But I do like that we're trying to bring Clark and Lois together.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, that was the important thing to get from this story, was that they were trying to reestablish that relationship.
But I like how he goes off and says, maybe I'll be able to handle this and get back before Lois knows Clark is gone. But we never come back.
I know. Well, again, he comes out of the bathroom because at first she's like, I'm going to take a shower. It might be a while. He's like, I'll be here. But he's like,
but I'm like, we never come back as a reader. Like, when did Clark get back? Like, did he get back? Like, what is Lois thinking? Like,
maybe we'll find out in the next issue of Adventures or Superman.
I love well, in Superman,
they'll forget. They'll be like, wait, weren't we supposed to be doing something?
I love how she's like, I've been crapping on Superman for months. Oh no, maybe he's moved on. How could he? Okay.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
But no, that would have been the best reveal if, like, when he reveals his identity to her, if he would have been like, hey, me and my brother, we're the same guy.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tyler. I see the picture you sent. I can let me save this, and I can probably save it.
Yeah, nice.
Like I said, awkward looking smiling Batman and awkward face Superman.
I know. All right, hold on. All right, no one can probably see that. All right, 2 seconds. But yeah, that is a creepy face, Tyler.
Yeah.
Share. There we go. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that Batman grin is very creepy.
Yeah.
I told you. I was like, oh, this is unnerving.
Wow. And the creepers in there. Wow. Interesting lineup for that picture.
Looks like Joker. It looks like Joker's like stole Batman's suit, and it looks like, I don't know, like Jay Leno is like trying to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go fight crime.
You guys ever remember Big Bag Beetleborgs?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
The one guy, Flabber, looked like Jay Leno. Well, this is like him as Superman.
Yeah.
Did it say who that's by, Tyler?
No.
Well, okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me just double check. I think there was a scribble. I'll go. You guys move on.
I thought maybe at the top or the bottom.
Medley and Arthur Adams.
Oh, Art Adams. Wow.
Maybe he inked it, but yeah, the other name I don't recognize. So
I think
maybe that was Art Adams Inc. or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's what it. So. But anyways, yeah, Clark's an idiot for leaving.
Well,
and we never get a resolution to this. Yeah.
We don't even know what this. They could at least give us a panel of what the emergency was. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next story?
Oh, it's Lex and Maggie.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. The games people play. Maggie Sawyer meets with Lex Luthor. He summoned the SCU to his office to discuss a truce. Maggie refuses to entertain that idea and declares that this must mean she's getting close to nailing Luthor. Luthor produces a dossier about Maggie, threatening to release it if she doesn't back off. It is strongly suggested, but of course never actually uttered, that he has proof that she is gay. Luthor slams his fist on the desk during this conversation, generating extreme pain in his hand. He screams and abruptly flees the meeting, demanding to see his doctor immediately. The doctor gets back the test results indicating radiation damage from Luthor's kryptonite ring. He's going to lose the hand.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's going to lose more than the hand, Sawyer and Turpin drive away. Sawyer has heard it before, and she's not ever running from anything ever again. All right. Again, I know it's 1988, but it's like, I love how we can write a story and be like, oh, Lex Luthor's going to blackmail Maggie Sawyer. About what? Well, we can't say what, but we're going to strongly.
We can't say what, but we can allude to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh my God! Then Luthor called in like that secretary or whatever, and I can't just
to flirt with her. Yeah.
Bend over in front of Maggie. He's like, see,
man.
we like the same kind of thing. See.
My thing is, I don't know if I ever would have got that like younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think 88. I was 10 years old. I was like, I think I know what they're saying. I think, but
yeah.
I was like, huh. And then later, like, oh snap!
Meanwhile, if you're younger than that, there's probably kids like, oh man, all those unpaid parking tickets are coming back to bite her in the ass.
It's one of those things you just like. It's written. I mean, it's written well enough that you just kind of go, oh, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's so obvious afterwards. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And one of the notes on this synopsis says, oh, this is like the first time they hinted that she was gay. I'm like, didn't they?
No.
Wasn't that the Skyhook issue?
Yeah, that was the Superman one, which was also a John Byrne story. Yeah.
I'm like, that was way more, it's suggesting than this was.
Yeah.
Because that whole thing was based like that's why her marriage didn't work out. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
I love this when Lex slams his fist down and starts screaming in pain afterwards.
I know. If you're Maggie and you're sitting there, are you thinking, damn, I thought he could get any woman he wants. So he's no master of his domain.
Yeah.
I mean,
so much for that.
I just think, Luthor, that like he surrounds himself with all women.
Yeah.
Like, that's who like everybody is that's around him.
Is he trying to overcompensate?
Well,
it's a power play kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a complex, yeah. I'm still surprised that Maggie didn't take that file that was laying on the desk. Like, I mean, I know that she's a cop and all that stuff, and that would be
I think it's a sign
technically stealing or whatever, but he was trying to blackmail her, so it's not really.
Well, I think it was a sign too to him that from her saying, "I'm not scared. Go ahead. You want to say it? Say it. I don't care."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
Yeah, I mean that would have been cool if, like, on the last page we would have just seen, she had like scribbled on the folder, scribbled on one of those sheets to be like, "Yeah, go like, take your best shot, and I will take mine," or something. Yeah. But it's
that was a good story.
I mean, I don't mind characters smoking in stories, especially in this era. But she has that weird red skull, like long cigarette holder.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is up? What is up with that?
And remember Jean DeWolf from Spider-Man?
Yes,
had that too.
Yeah.
And she was like a captain too.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Can I just say that in this they drew Maggie very manly, and like even if you look at for example, look at page 4 of this story in the bottom left, like she looks like Lex Luthor wearing a wig.
Oh yeah,
there's some big eyebrows there.
Like the eyebrows match the way they're drawing Luthor, the square jaw. Like I don't know what they're trying to say, but then look at how they draw the other women.
Right, the secretary. Yeah,
and even like the scientist doctors and stuff later. Like I don't know what they're trying to say or anything, but like it's just compared to how we saw Maggie in the last thing we read.
Even old ass Dr. Kelly looks more womanly. Yeah, she's like 100.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying.
Yeah, and again, I know it's a different art team, but your favorite, Tyler, I believe her hair color is different here than like in other stories we've seen her in, like the Skyhook one.
It's
and
a
all
different
that.
tint. Yeah. Yeah, she looked very different in that Skyhook issue.
Something in the Metropolis water, man, changing the hair color.
I guess. Yeah. Need to have that stuff filtered.
Almost as bad as Gotham.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, I guess maybe the kryptonite radiation is different, but I'm just like, okay, so I mean, eventually it's going to be cancer, right? I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm like, Dr. Kelly didn't detect anything wrong with that hand until he ran the the scan for the radiation or whatever.
Yeah, right. Before that point. Yeah.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know, yeah, the kryptonite ring affected Lex's hand because, as they'll point out later on, it's like, yeah, even though kryptonite can kill Superman pretty quick, it's radiation. It's
still radioactive.
It'll affect a human being the same way, maybe uranium or plutonium affects them.
Yeah.
You might not feel it today or tomorrow, but you're gonna feel it eventually.
Yeah, it's a radioactive piece of another planet. You can't wear it as jewelry. Sorry, Lex.
That's his arrogance, man. He was like, he wanted to be untouchable.
That's what you get then. Yeah, you lose a hand.
I know. Forget the radiation part. It's a piece of an alien planet. You run a couple more tests on that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on this one, gentlemen?
No.
All right. I don't have synopses for A Friend in Need or The Dark Where Madness Lies. Because they're almost the same story.
These
just
are
like
weird. Yeah. Some
So,
weird stuff here.
Here you go. I got you. While in a small town, Jimmy Olsen calls for Superman, who breathes in stuff from a truck that shouldn't be in town, and he gets sick, and Jimmy gets a forklift and takes him to a cave.
A forklift and a mattress.
With a mattress on it, yeah.
While there, Superman chills and tells Jim to go.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's basically it. Yeah.
I got you, Phil.
You got it, Tyler. That's basically what happens in this story.
And that's why it felt like the two stories were the same because Superman's still chilling in this cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it came out of this sudden malaise that he experiences. Seems to come out of nowhere. It's weird.
Well, I forget. Is it the first story or the second one where they say, "Oh, hey, there's like kryptonite heading," from the original explosion in Krypton. There's kryptonite actually coming closer and closer to Earth. That's why
a kryptonite belt.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
Okay, in this first story, I get that he's a classic Superman artist, but like Kurt Swan has never been my favorite Superman artist. I mean,
really? Yeah.
I get he's a product of his time, but all his figures always seem like stiff to me, and just. Mm-hmm. And again, that's that old school art.
Very of the Silver Age. Yeah.
Good old Silver Age.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you think, Tyler? I mean, you studied Superman comics like they're the Holy Bible. What do you think?
The art I don't mind, but when, like you said, you're looking at the Silver Age stuff, it's fine. But then when you look at some of the stuff that Byrne's been doing, it's it's kind of one of those things where you have an artist who's very defined by their style, but now it's a new decade, a new era, and they're trying to change that style to go with what's current popular. And it just kind of comes off odd because when you say Kurt Swan Superman, there's a definitive look. I have you can't really see it, but I have hanging on my wall back there. There's a Kurt Swan Superman that you think of, and this is it looks good, but then it's when you hear it's Kurt Swan, it's almost kind of a letdown because it doesn't feel like that's the Kurt Swan Superman. You get what I'm saying?
Well, two. I mean, half this story, Superman's on his back.
Yeah, on a mattress, being carted around by Jimmy on a forklift.
There's
It
really
doesn't really feel like a Superman story.
There's
It
not a
doesn't
lot of
feel like-
heroic poses for him to draw.
But it doesn't even feel like a full story.
Right.
You know, it just
It feels
like
like a segue into another story.
Well, again, this story and then the one after it are kind of the same story, but it's like, you know, Jimmy's gone by the second one, and it's a different artist on the second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, no offense to Kurt Swan. I mean, again,
exactly. It's just
I mean, he's another definitive. I mean, you just look at his work, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's Kurt Swan.
Yeah.
But it's like when Kurt Swan's trying to do not Kurt Swan.
Yeah, and again, I mean, nothing. You know, I'm not going to say no one should ever not get work, but I'm just like, isn't this why we did Crisis and everything? Because we were getting away from this style.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's an anniversary issue, so you know, it's kind of
Right.
Then if
Yeah,
that's
they
the
wanted to have
case, then let Kurt Swan do Kurt Swan. Like let him draw it the way he would do it.
Yeah.
Or you know what? That first story with Superman and Wonder Woman was broken up into chapters. Let different artists draw each chapter.
Yeah.
Kurt Swan could have drew a chapter of that.
Yeah.
But I mean that one, and then like I said, we go straight into Man Bat.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't realize it was
With a-
Man Bat. First, I was
very
just kind of
different
like,
artist.
I was just like, this is weird. Like, oh yeah, we got Brom Bones looking Superman on page 2. Anybody familiar with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow cartoon? You know what I'm talking about. Man, his face looks ridiculously not like him in page 4. Like, did not like the Superman look in this story, and I felt like this story was kind of a waste of time. And all you just needed was Superman in a cave and Hawkman to show up. That's really all you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm like, man, that's random. I mean, again, for what? No other reason than Superman's in a cave. I'm like, why Man Bat?
It's so random, right? Yeah.
I mean, because he's kind of hallucinating and seeing Man Bat as a threat when he's not even a threat here. So I'm like, wouldn't it have been better to have him like let Superman to hallucinate some of the villains he's fought like since
right.
Superman #1?
Yeah.
Well, my thing was I thought he was hallucinating, having problems, and it was actually Batman there to help him, and he was just seeing him as a bat. Because I wasn't even thinking Man Bat. I was just thinking like he's affected.
Yeah.
I know. I'm surprised there was no Batman in this issue.
Batman, my favorite character.
Even just a cameo for a page or something. Yeah.
I guess we got.
I do like Mike Mignola's depiction of Man Bat, though. I really like that.
Yeah, and I guess this is kind of like still heroic Man Bat, you know, before he doesn't go
before he gets further mutated.
He's not completely around the bend. Well, again, I mean, he was kind of like that when he first appeared, and then what was it by the 70s? They were starting like Kurt could like control the Man Bat, but then
right.
I think if not before, by the time the animated series rolls around, Batman the animated series rolls around, he's full
early
Batman.
90s.
Yeah. But yeah, again, it's just so random because again, I mean, even 6 Superman's, holding his own against the Man Bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Man Bat goes to get help, and yes, leading into Superman 18, which we'll get to in a little bit. Yeah, Hawkman shows up at the end.
Yeah, it does seem like a fever dream, doesn't it? These two stories, like him getting carted to that cave on the mattress on the forklift, and then having this experience with Man Bat, and then Hawkman shows up. It seems really hallucinatory and weird.
Seems very roundabout too. It's like, why don't we just see, him go into Hawkman or someone for help? It's just like, well,
or the Justice League being like, you know what, I feel ill. Is there Martian Manhunter or somebody that can check me out?
Pretty much.
Make sure there's nothing wrong with my Kryptonian physiology.
It's just so weird. Like Jimmy just dumped him in this cave. I'm like, did Jimmy not get help?
Yeah. I guess he just assumed he'd be all right. I don't know.
Jeepers, Superman, I gotta go. I heard Miss Lane's in the shower.
Yeah. That's where he's at.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, anything else on the Action 600?
Started good and ended weird.
Yeah, I really liked the first story a lot. The
Mhm.
artwork was gorgeous. The story itself was pretty good. The Maggie Sawyer story was pretty good.
Yeah,
The rest of them were just kind of so whatever.
that's what I was gonna say. That's the only two I really enjoyed in this issue was the Superman
Yeah.
one and the Maggie one. Yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest with you, for the 600th issue, and I remember being a little disappointed, thinking, I need a little bit more stuff here, but that's all right.
Because once again, the whole Lois story is based like, oh wow, how dare he move on? It's like, well, you're dumping on him for months now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God forbid.
Yeah.
God forbid Clark and Superman move on.
And I remember being really disappointed by the Jimmy Olsen story the first time I read that. Like, what? He's driving around on a forklift with a mattress? What's going on here? What is this? What even is this?
I thought it was just building to something more, and nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing happened. Yeah, it's so strange. I don't know. But I'm looking at the cover of Action Comics 601, and here's the lineup. Blackhawk, Wild Dog, Secret Six, Dead Man, and Green Lantern, and briefly Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah, I love how Superman's big on the cover. Meanwhile, he's like on 2 pages.
Is he even on 2 pages?
I think that was what the story in the weekly they did. It was like 2 pages of Superman.
2 pages. That's so funny. Technically, he's in there.
Oh yeah, and it's oversized. It's like 42 pages of story in there. That's good. But yeah, kids, I wouldn't read that without some alcoholic beverages or something. Some mind-altering substances.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of the 2 pages put together, but yeah, that's the whole story from Superman story from 601. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
So it's for what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 panels. 10, 11
panels. Wow.
That's it. It's almost like an extended like comic strip in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
As the kids,
I bet there was some mad Superman fans back in 1988.
As the kids say, what's a newspaper?
It's that thing that Peter Parker works for, and Clark Kent and Lois.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day that everyone starts working for like a website or something. Which I mean, kind of
the same website. Yeah.
That's. I mean, they're all like media conglomerates now. They still say like the Daily Planet, but they try not to say the paper. You know, it's like
right.
Oh, the online edition, or
right.
I mean, current Spider-Man, we don't see Jameson a lot, but he has a podcast right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's adapting to the time. I'm waiting until they upgrade Bruce Wayne to a trillionaire.
Well, he has to get his money back.
Yeah.
It'll eventually happen.
He's poor right now. He only got like $1 million or $2 million right now.
Oh yeah,
only $1 million. Oh,
he has like his townhouse and stuff.
I love how they're like Batman's poor,
cash poor,
but yet he still is Batman, and
well, he lives on account.
I think they were just. I think it's kind of like they're just the times we live in. They're like, I don't know if people are going to respond to a billionaire.
Hard to say.
And I don't want to hear, he could be using his money in better ways, Ray.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Like when they make Batman poor, he's not poor. When they make Green Arrow poor, he's poor.
Yeah.
Like he's camping in the woods. He has like 3 arrows he has to keep reusing. You know what I'm saying? Like they bring him down.
Yeah.
Sleeping with somebody's wife. I know.
Yeah, that's Green Arrow, man. Haven't you read a comic?
In a nutshell, yeah.
We're about to get a horrible storm. Great.
Uh-oh.
Before Tyler loses power. All right.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible.
We got one more issue left. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this out here for this real quick. I did not like this issue.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like he's all right. Let's get to this. All right, I'll do the synopsis. Yeah. I don't know. Superman, Volume 2, Number 18, June 1988, Return to Krypton. Writer John Byrne, penciler Mike Mignola, inker Carl Kessel, colorist Petra Skodish, letterer Bill Oakley, and editor Mike Carlin. Hawkman and Hawkgirl return Superman to the remains of Krypton, where he imagines an alternate life that could have happened if his father Jor-El discovered the cure for kryptonite radiation poisoning, resulting in a mass exodus of Krypton before its destruction. In that imagined life, the Kryptonians settle on Earth and slowly take over its human population, forcing Jor-El to rebel against his own people, only to later learn that he has fathered a son that was born on Earth, Kal-El. After returning to Earth, Superman attempts to replicate the kryptonite radiation poisoning antidote, only to find that it is useless. Superman muses that it's probably for the best, as he might need kryptonite to remind him that he's more man and a Superman. So yeah, kids. So basically, Superman goes to the remains of Krypton and gets high and trips.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happens.
It is. It made no sense to me.
Nothing will ever be as good as Mephisto's mushroom.
I was confused at first of what's going on. Like, is once like he gets okay, I'm following along. I'm like, all right. Like I said, I read these backwards. So
yeah,
I was like, why is Hawkman?
That must have been even more confusing. Oh my god.
But once we get to like him out there, then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I remember this. Okay, that makes sense. All right, and then boom, when we get to page with like the shooting of the pods, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It is an hallucination because those Kryptonians couldn't leave the planet because of the Eradicator. We'll get there, kids.
And then I was like, wait, there's Ma and Pa. I'm like, what is going on with this thing? And like, did I miss something? I go back and I'm kind of like, okay. And then I'm reading this and I'm like, I could care less for any of this.
Yeah.
Like, why is Superman even mentioned if technically, like, it's just, I don't. And then like you have Jor-El looking like Dick Tracy showing up to Lara. Yeah. And then like Kal-El, like the art's not my favorite. He's in complete Kryptonian. So like the whole earlier with the Superman, the Savior poster doesn't really make sense. And then we're back to him just, hanging out, being Kryptonite trip. I mean, the only thing I do like is the last panel that says that Kryptonite around helps keep him basically in check. And that it makes him
humanizes him a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole story doesn't make sense to me at all because, again, in the Action Comics issue, we see that there's a kryptonite radiation storm heading for Earth. That's why he's feeling
right.
But let's get on Hawkman's ship and fly to the source of it.
Yeah.
And then he has to leave the ship because he's looking for some remains of whatever. I'm like, Krypton's gone. We've already said in this very issue that the planet exploded. It looks like a planet out there, but it's basically just the gases and stuff,
Yeah.
They
the remains of what
whole scientific explanation that not all the debris can escape the core, the gravity of the core and stuff. But I'm just like, why would you go out there? What purpose did it serve to leave that ship and get high on that cloud?
Nothing. I mean, the epiphany that he arrives to at the end could be done in so many different ways.
Yeah.
That the point of this story, I'm like, it's complete filler for no reason.
It is filler. This could have gone in Action and Comics 600 in one of the backups.
Yeah. And if you wanted to end with him having, the epiphany about Kryptonite, I can find better ways to do that.
I mean, they literally could have cut out the Hawkman and Hawkgirl part. Just did the part, the hallucination with Jor-El, and then, did it in Action 600, like you said.
He could have done this in the cave. He could have had the same hallucinations in the cave. Just sitting in there. Like, he didn't have to travel, because the traveling to the planet should be something big and substantial and something he does. And
again, in the cave would have made more sense because he wasn't going to the kryptonite. The kryptonite was coming to him. So
right, exactly.
And
he was already feeling ill, so it would have made sense for him to start hallucinating. And
instead of the whole man bat thing, have him hallucinate that. That, you're right, Tyler. That would have made complete sense. I said it was that, or just a dream or something.
Like a fever dream
Yeah.
caused by the phenomenon.
Either that or bad Mexican something.
Yeah. And a waste of Hawkman and Hawkwoman appearance too.
Yeah.
I thought, what is even the point of them showing up in this? Just to give him a taxi ride to Krypton, the remains of Krypton? That's nonsense.
And they sprayed the inside of that spacesuit with lead. So I'm like, did they not do it well? Was that why he's tripping, or did he?
Who can say?
Or what about there was like a glass helmet on? I'm like, did you spray that with lead?
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing made no sense at all.
Yeah, I didn't care for this story.
I've read this a few times over the years, and yes, it never makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I get we wanted to go back to Krypton, but like Tyler said, we could have came up with a better excuse to go back to Krypton.
And the previous issue was Silver Banshee, right? And they kind of left that hanging, that mystery hanging.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
why didn't we continue with that? Like, instead of having this nonsense, why didn't we continue with that?
I don't know. I guess if we wanted to follow up, is this supposed to be part of the anniversary for Action Con? I don't know, but
I guess.
Yeah. Who knows? Or unless Byrne knows his days are numbered and he wanted to do a Return to Krypton story. I don't know.
Maybe this was one of the stories he wanted to do before he left.
But yeah, I don't know what it is, and I don't know unless it's the inking or something. But I mean, Mignola, I've seen work of his I like, but yeah, for this,
yeah. And Carl Kiesel's a really good inker as well.
But again, you can have like a good penciler and a good inker, but
That's
sometimes
true.
they just don't mesh.
Mike Mignola's a really hard artist to ink well as well. He's tough.
Yeah.
There's one inker named P. Craig Russell that does a really, really excellent job inking Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite inker for Mignola.
Yeah, that's like there's 90s Spider-Man stuff. It's like Sal Buscema inked by Bill Sienkiewicz, both great artists.
Oh,
I don't think they meshed well together.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, their styles are too different.
Yeah. Because it's just everything inked everything looked like midnight. It was just like.
Like it dumped a ball of ink on the page and just went to town on it. Yeah.
And again, Mignola, I mean, some artists, I don't know if they do certain characters that well. Like, I don't know if he's like the guy to go to for Superman,
Yeah, and he comes back too. I mean, he does more Superman.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't he do the next Silver Banshee story?
He does.
Yeah.
That's the next time we see her.
But yeah, I don't know if he's the guy for Superman. I mean, he put him on something like
Batman, my favorite character.
Yes.
I mean, like the Doom that came to Gotham.
Oh yeah.
I love Batman.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on these?
No, I think the less said about Superman 18, the better. That was a bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
The owl has spoken.
That's right. You always listen to the owl when he speaks.
Scream at!
Well, that escalated.
All right. Pull up schedule for next time. Wait, I was really looking back here. All right. So next time. Oh, yeah. Because we had to fix some stuff because, as Justin pointed out, Superman 19 kind of ended, was part of a two-parter. So next time we're going to do Adventures of Superman 441, Superman 19, and then Adventures of Superman 442. So, yeah, kids, until Action Comics Weekly is over, you're just going to get Superman, Adventures of Superman, and some random guest appearances. So.
And some annuals and stuff, that two-part story is the introduction of one of my favorite villain duos, Dreadnought and Siphon.
Yes!
Yeah. I love those two crazy aliens. They make me so happy.
Oh, yeah, did you ever see them when they come back in the 90s?
Yes. Yeah. They're great.
An issue starring Kal Rayner, the greatest Green Lantern.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They menaced him, I think, more than once. Yeah. Good old Dreadnought and Siphon.
So suck it, Will. Suck it, Lilith. Green Kyle Rayner, the greatest Green Lantern. All right, kids. So yes, so send us your thoughts on those. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. I can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, get your new Capes and Lunatics logos merchandise. There's one logo by Tyler's head there. There's a blue one. There's a
brand new
network one. Yes. My shirt should be here soon. So yes. So yeah, t-shirts, phone cases, cups, all of it. Oh, I was working on hats the other night. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
hats are always
oh yeah, look there. So you
can
on report hats too, kids.
Very cool.
All right. So that you can rain the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Lil's favorite, and of course the Patreon, where yes, once again, Lil and I try to give you something different all the time.
Yes.
March was
Join me in the Patreon Elite. You get all the perks, all the good stuff, the bonus episodes, the uncensored Lilith Hellfire.
That's right. Join Russell, Justin, Moz, and Batman's #1 fanboy in our Patreon. So find all of it at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
I'm sorry. I gotta give you crap, Ray. So I'll give you a plug. All right, so everyone, go to YouTube. Find Ray Plays Games.
Yes,
where he plays games by himself. So yes, kids, a whole YouTube channel dedicated to Ray playing with himself. All right, Mr. Tyler Patrick, where else can people find you talking Superman?
On the Krypton Report, you can find me wherever you get your podcasts, on YouTube as well. Just search on any social media platform for Krypton Report, and there we are.
I should have been like, besides this podcast, at home and at work, where else can people find you talking about Superman?
It's true.
All right, now for this Justin the Owl.
That's right.
Can hear him every week on either Marvel Tales or X-Men Classics with me. At the end of every month on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast.
You're welcome, Ray. Talking all things Azrael. You can hear him once a month with me and Russell on Energon Universe, talking all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe. But that is not all this man does. Where else can we hear you, Justin?
You can also find me and Russell over at Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where we talk about Incredible Hulk and Sensational She-Hulk every month. And we also have a Patreon page, so do check that out. We have bonus content on there, and we are covering DC's version of the Hulk, Damage, on our bonus episodes, and that's been super fun. Also, we are joined by the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, over on Predator and Prey, the Yocha podcast, in which we discuss the new Predator comics being published by Marvel. And last but not least, my solo project, the Lost Library of Legends, is still chugging along. And the Spotlight comic for April that I just wrapped up will be on a 90s comic called Black Wolf.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
I knew Phil had that one ready.
Oh, yeah. Every time Black Wolf, I get that.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me grab a handful of this. I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon. Double biscuits.
My favorite biscuit.
Name one.
He's playing my greatest hits.
Oh, my. That's right. All right. Thank you for joining us. Come back next time. I believe Superman will be vertical for most of it.
Good.
He'll be hoisted around on a mattress. Getting high off Kryptonian clouds.
All the characters that were in these books this week, Jimmy Olsen was not the one Superman wanted to get him on a mattress.
That was in the first story, Phil. That's
intense dreams
in a cave.
Don't try to use that excuse, people.
Yeah. Well, I say intense dreams. Like Superman has intense dreams. All right, kids, come back next time. Remember, join us for every time for truth, justice, and the mullet way.
The mullet way.
Don't get high on kryptonite. Or use it as hand lotion.